Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life.
Hats. Oh, you prick.
Sorry, man.
You took it from me. No, I'm not going again. That's,
How are you, man?
I'm good, mate.
It's good though.
Well, we're back from Mara.
We are back.
I miss it already.
I know I missed it since I left. I was a bit tired though. It was a good weekend. Really good weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who made that possible and everybody who went along and just made it better.
And we managed to push out a pod fairly quick because I was editing on the laptop on the way home on Sunday.
Yep.
It was a bit of a dog's breakfast of stuff.
It was a little bit dog's breakfast, but it was, and then there's another couple of guys have come out with a bit of a written roundup as well.
Oh, Dale, shout out Dale. That was great.
And also somebody else.
Michael, I think, did a.
Michael did. I read them both today.
Yeah.
Excellent, both. So I think I'll share them both. So if anybody wants to,
that's right.
go on my profile and you'll find the link to it.
Yep. Well, we're back in the garage.
Yeah.
And tonight we have a guest.
We do.
Who have we got?
And I'm also in the garage.
Also in the garage. Yep. So
Yep.
we have HB, or what is it? plebHODLBadger.
plebHODLBadger.
Yeah, plebHODLBadger.
How you going, mate?
Good, man. I'm doing great. Doing great.
Awesome. Now, we found out fairly recently that you're another local port area boy, which I think the three of us were all probably excited to have another Maxi in the area, which is cool. The connection was Wiz too, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is the connection, but we don't fully know the story. So if you could tell us what happened there, that would be cool. That's a good place to start off, I reckon.
With which, sir?
So did you
Wiz?
contact Wizard of Oz to find out something about, how you would connect with other Bitcoiners or something like that? That's
Yeah, I think I just noticed that he was obviously an Aussie Bitcoiner as well, and I'm always keen to get out and chat with another Maxi. And yeah, he thought, there's a couple of Maxis nearby, and I'm like, oh, really? Cool. I mean, there's another guy that lives in the cooperative where I live, and he's fairly well Maxi as well. He actually got me into it originally. It was my second touch point, I guess.
Okay, so there's a couple. There's four of us at least.
So hang on, your second touch point. Who was your first touch point?
My first touch point was an old mate who's a programmer.
Yep.
And that was back in end of 2011, would you believe? And ran core for 8 hours and then turned it off because I didn't want to waste my sister's electricity at the time. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then not till 2017 was the second touch point. So
that's still early, mate. We're all early.
Yeah, but
for sure, and still stacking, always stacking every week.
That's it.
Good for you, man.
Every day, unless I've forgotten to drop a bit more in the account.
So what is it that resonated with you? And was it your friend, or what is it that resonated with you in 2017? Was it just the run up of the price, or what were you seeing at that point when you first sort of jumped in?
Nothing really. I was just about to head over to India for a few months for a holiday, and he'd been hassling me for a while. It's like, got to get in, got to buy some. I'm like, didn't really have time to study it at the time, so just threw a few $100 in, went overseas, come back, and then slowly started to listen more, dabbled with some shitcoins, got burnt with shitcoins, and just learnt more and more as time went on. Eventually became Maxi, as you do.
Well, I guess the more effort you put into the learning, the closer you get towards Maxi, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think we just all keep going looking for people that are sort of, we've spoken about this, for like intellectually curious, or just want to understand why they're wrong or right. Just keep looking and looking and looking, and you keep running up against a brick wall.
Do you think getting burned by shitcoins is almost a prerequisite to becoming a Maxi? I mean,
well, I wasn't burned by a shitcoin.
No, well, either was I.
So no, that's a shit question.
It is a shit question. No. I think. Well, I wonder. I wonder if like we special cases in a way.
No, not special. Sorry, man.
Oh, damn it!
Okay, what do you think?
It certainly happens with a few of us, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it help shape you towards or moving towards Bitcoin maximalism by getting burned by shitcoins and kind of realizing how much of a scam they all are?
Yeah, in a way, like the main shitcoin I got burnt with was actually a token that I knew one of the CEOs of that company. Did a bit of paragliding with her back in the day, and thought, and I talked with this woman. She was pretty cool. She was having interviews with fucking bank managers and shit in the States. I'm like, oh yeah, it's legitimate. And eventually it all went to nothing. Like the day it crashed, I was at work. By the time I got home to try and sell that token, it had gone to nothing. Couldn't sell it.
Wow.
I'm like,
Do you want to disclose what that token was or not?
that was Zephyr. Zephyr.
Okay, I haven't heard of that.
okay. So
So it's one of those shit tokens that goes to nothing. No one knows. Forget about it forever.
Hindenburg token should be next.
yeah, all here.
Yeah.
All of them, I guess. It's just the timing as to when it happened. So, without disclosing your sort of relationship there, did you jump onto that because you thought there was some legitimacy to it, but it was also the person, like there was a friendship or a knowledge of a person that made you think, oh well, that's I trust this person, I'll do this, or what happened there?
Yeah, it was a bit of that. I mean, I'd also dabbled in a few other shitcoins at the time, and I didn't understand the market at all. Like I was just like, oh, this is something you buy and it goes up in value. Cool. I also lost $6,000 in gold in 2012, 2011, just after the Bitcoin thing. But yeah, and I guess having spoke to her and thinking she came across quite legit, and it gave it a second stab at legitimacy for sure.
So did you have a relationship where you could message her or talk to her, or did she ghost you, or like what happened there?
Oh no, well, no, she never ghosted me or anything. I didn't continue engagement in conversation. Once I realized that the whole thing was pretty much a scam. I mean, she must have known.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, she doesn't get any more of my time,
Yeah.
So if anything, I ghosted her. Yeah, it wasn't. We didn't have a romantic relationship or anything. We're just friends.
Yeah.
So it was. I just like, well, fuck.
Do you know where she is now?
I think she's somewhere in Australia, actually.
Like shitcoining or?
No idea. I haven't looked at what she's been into for quite a while. I think she might have been going back into some other shitcoins or doing something else anyway. And I just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not worth your time to spend your time thinking about someone who is already scamming people, who's already just not being honest, just not being a good person. Like it's not. It doesn't help me as a person. It doesn't make me a better person. It's only going to lead me down. It's only going to influence me negatively. Put it that way.
So
yeah.
I mean, I have held. What did I have back in the day? Like
you're gonna have to put that close again.
Sorry. Litecoin back in the day, right? And I think that was
Yeah.
I think that was maybe I have to think about it. Yeah, I think it was. And you bought some.
Well, that was Samson's coin, wasn't it?
Say again, sorry.
That was Samson's.
Was it?
That was
Litecoin.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name now.
Not Samson.
Yeah, it was Samson.
Yeah, but it was. Oh my God, I can't remember, such a long time ago. Was it not his brother or there's some? I don't remember the story quite honestly.
Was he his brother? The guy that was. Did you used to watch Magic Cryptos, Magic Crypto Friends, or whatever it was called?
No, and didn't, mate. But it was like that was back when the narrative was Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoins, and when I knew nothing, right? Nothing.
I thought Ethereum was the silver to Bitcoin's
Well,
gold.
I mean, anything.
No, it's definitely Litecoin. I was big on Litecoin as well.
But my point is, right? The point I'm trying to get is, and you had your own coin experience as well, right? But none of us, hopefully, were bad guys, right? That we were just drawn into something. So I also think that there's people out there who are creating these things that are also not bad people. I think there is a point when they must get to a point and go, oh, I've not, this is not going to work out. And then they've got a choice to make. They either shut the thing down or they just try and prolong this
Pump and dump.
Yeah, that's when, but that's the point when it becomes a scam.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily a scam at the start. I mean, I think maybe there's enough information out there now to say, okay, any new coin is probably going to be scammy. But back then, I certainly don't think necessarily everybody was a scammer. I just think that it turned into a scam.
Fair.
Is that, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Like, even that friend one that had the Zephyr token, like, she seemed pretty legitimate that she wanted to fix cross-border payments and remittances and stuff like that. And that was what she wanted to do. She wanted to do remittances. And she found that she thought that she couldn't do it on top of Bitcoin. So she moved to current. I can't even remember what, because she built her token on another token.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was obviously before Lightning had kicked off, I think. Or it might have been, Lightning was still an idea back in 2017, was it?
Yeah. So maybe a little bit before that, I'd say probably 15, 16. I mean, it's still kicking around as far as I'm aware, but
Lightning. Now he's talking about.
excuse
No,
me.
Lightning Network.
Excuse me, I thought you said Litecoin. Excuse me. Lightning. God,
I feel like that's
maybe. Yeah,
that's like 2019, 2020, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
in terms of
when it
being
actually
used,
launched.
But yes,
Yeah.
we're only. I mean, the pace at which that's growing in the last sort of 24 months is incredible.
Yeah.
It was just an idea back in sort of 17, 18, 19, and then it's just gone wild in the last sort of 24 months.
It's kind of bizarre when they launched it before they really wanted to launch it for pressure, and then it's just like everyone's getting on board and they're like, oh, wait. It's too late.
Yeah.
It seems to have come timing wise off. I don't know what came first. Probably the book came second, but Nick Bhattia's book, the Layered Money book, right? Because that for me was the connection of, oh yeah, you can have other things, but they're not going to be the base. You can
the Taj Mahal, and
it goes back to the analogy of the building a sandcastle on the beach. If you don't if it could be, you can make out of whatever you want to make out of, but if it's built on sand, it's still sand.
Yeah.
And or Michael Saylor's analogy of New York is built on granite. It doesn't move. The buildings change and the owners change, but the base layer doesn't change.
Yeah.
And that's where Lightning comes in. And I'm still not. I mean, I wouldn't say not sold on Lightning, but it's still I still wouldn't be holding a huge percentage of my Bitcoin in Lightning. I'm happy to use it, and I'm happy to have for it to be using, a small amount and to hopefully start creating a circular economy. But I'm not holding.
I think that's the intention. I don't think the intention is to have a huge amount on Lightning. It's to have your on-chain balance or in cold storage, and then you've got some open liquidity for, transacting and whatnot else.
I think so, but here's the problem, right? So let's say
the node runners need to have liquidity on there.
Yeah. But if you're, let's say you're an absolutely newbie coming in today and you bought some Bitcoin on a Bitcoin only exchange, what people are sort of advising. Yep. And then you withdraw to a Lightning wallet, even if it's a custodial Lightning wallet, just because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to withdraw into Lightning, right? So you could still have a situation where
depends on how much you're withdrawing. Like sometimes if you're making a decent sized withdrawal, you're better off going on chain.
Absolutely. But my point is, if you're a new guy coming in today and you just bought your first $20 or first $50 worth of Bitcoin on, let's say, Bitteroo, and you're withdrawing and you look at the difference in cost between withdrawing to on-chain and withdrawing to Lightning, you probably go, oh, everybody says Lightning's a good thing. And it is a good thing, but it just shouldn't be for your whole stack is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, but day-to-day transactions.
Oh, definitely.
Nothing beats it.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's something I've been thinking about lately is actually there needs to be a way where I say I do that, I'll buy my first $20 on Bitteroo and I want to do a Lightning withdrawal. If there could be a way where I can withdraw to maybe Bitteroo need to set up on their end and push a transaction to an on-chain address that then gets tied to non-custodial Bitcoin Lightning node. So I'm not explaining it well. It was in my head well, but now it's kind of 2 winds down. It's not so not so well addressed.
That's all right. We'll catch up. We'll catch up.
What's the problem we're trying to fix? What's the problem? What's the thing that you don't like?
So if you're non-custodial Lightning address, then you don't have the on-chain keys to that. If I run my own node, so if I withdraw to a Lightning address, I control the keys.
Yes.
But if I'm using a custodial
Yep.
custodial Lightning wallet on my phone,
Yep.
I don't have the keys to that on-chain Lightning channel. It's just I'm relying on whoever provides that Lightning channel, that Lightning node that hosts the wallet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Following?
Yes.
oh yeah, I think so. So, have you reached out to Ethan at Bitteroo, and because I think he's pretty open to feedback.
Yeah, I have. But I haven't explained that to him yet, and I'm not even sure how we could do what I'm proposing. It'd be like there'd have to be a way for him to open a channel and push funds at the same time to an address that only has maybe, or to a hosted Lightning node. So you might have to get a hosted Lightning node cheap that just has one channel going to it, or it could even be like something like LN Bits do a thing where they have like you can create separate wallets
Multiple,
inside
yeah,
a single node. But just some way that I can have the on-chain ability to close that channel and take those funds. So so Bitteroo opens a channel, pushes funds to me, and every time I stack and make those withdrawals on Lightning, they push to the same channel. And eventually, if I want, I can close the channel, pay the on-chain fees, and pull that to
Have the coin,
and have control of the coin. So you got control of the coin straight away, right from the word go, even though it's on Lightning. I'm still playing with that idea in my head, and I'm not a coder.
It's a good idea. Sounds like a technical issue.
I just think all the best ideas come from a problem, right? All of the best sort of inventions, all the best solutions come from somebody actually having a problem,
like Ethereum.
It's constantly looking for the problem, right? But
how the hell do I scam the world?
Yeah.
I'll create Ethereum.
Yeah, but my point is that all I'm trying to say is if you have a genuine concern or issue, I would say absolutely, Brenda's right. Just reach out to Ethan and put it in front of him, and if it's if he feels it's important, he'll fix it. Because it won't just be you.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, I don't have a problem. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking more long term and future based. When most people are just withdrawing to the Lightning because on-chain fees have gone up and they don't want to necessarily buy a hardware wallet straight away, whatever the situation is. And even for like poorer nations where, people may never make on-chain transactions, but still be able to have a Lightning wallet and use that, but also have the on-chain keys to those funds. So it can basically never move off Lightning unless they say it's going to move off Lightning.
Yeah.
Got you. I mean, it's a problem in the sense that it's all very well just coming on a podcast and recommending people buy a cold card. But what is a cold card? Like a couple $100 or something? If somebody buys $50 of Bitcoin, that's a terrible piece of advice you're giving them, right? Because who's going to do it? It's a terrible place. So it has to get to the point where who was it saying you should this is years ago, you should secure your Bitcoin as if it was 10 times the value it currently is, because it will be. That's a bloody good point. It's a good way of thinking about it.
Who said that? You don't remember?
I don't remember. Probably Odell or Gigi or something maybe. But it's easy to say that to another Bitcoiner. It's not easy to say that to somebody who's just kind of walked off the street and bought their first Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So can we talk about the other side of it then, HB? What do you happy to
That's
talk about?
Brendo. Sorry, HB. That's Brendo.
You're
A match made in heaven.
there. You go.
Sorry, man.
That's all right. You totally derailed me. But like, what's the you're like the fiat life? Do you work in a fiat job and you do that, or are you happy to talk about that?
Yeah. I've been running my own business for 20 odd years now, I suppose.
Do you mind talking about that, or like how you find that now that you're a Bitcoiner?
I'm struggling with keeping it running, as in having passion for it. I'm probably going to shut it down, possibly as early as next year.
Can you sell it
and
as,
hit
like,
the road.
as a business?
No, not really. I'm a service provider, like a tech guy, doing surveillance and audio, video, TV antennas, data networking, that sort of shit. But just sick of working for people that just play in the system and
Just I noticed that. So Brendo had a tweet today, right? And it was something along the lines of working in your fiat life or whatever. It's difficult. What was the tweet?
The tweet, well, I don't remember. The tweet was something about basically fiat mining in a government job is fucking unbearable. I think that's pretty much exactly it.
That's the one.
Yeah.
You got it.
But you had a response to that, and it was like, obviously that had hit a nerve for you too, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the government job side of things, but just like the fiat mindset, working in a fiat mindset.
And just the I don't know. Our society is so weird once you've been thinking about and living in a Bitcoin mindset for a long time. Everything's just fucking warped. I mean, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
Everything is just so warped.
It's dishonest
because of fiat.
Someone at Bush Bash on the weekend mentioned or gave the analogy of like a filter being lifted out off your eyes, and that's really what it feels like. It's almost like it's Matrix like, where you kind of wake up 100%. And go, "Holy fuck, where am I? How long have I been out for?"
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It's
scary.
You start to see,
and you can't go back. That's the other point. You can't go back.
Kind of like a DMT trip.
Yeah.
Can we talk about drugs? We can talk about drugs.
We can talk about drugs.
Whatever you want to.
I'm a big fan of the hallucinogens.
Yep.
May do a bit of that tomorrow.
Well, let's go. Let's go. What kind of, like, what are you into? Mushrooms or like DMT you just said, or?
DMT is insane, but I mean, it's not a party drug. It's I want to explore another world drug and find out. I don't know. It's a weird thing because when you're there, it feels more, or rather when you come back, there feels more real than here does. And I say there and here because 30 odd seconds after you take a big hit of DMT, you're in another world with other beings, and it's the most bizarre experience you can ever have.
But good bizarre though, or can it go either way?
Depends on set and setting, same as LSD, you know.
Yeah. Do you know first? I was a massive weed smoker as a teenager and in my 20s.
You know,
and when I was 17, I think it was, or 18, I had acid. I don't know if I talked about this on the pod.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I dropped acid with some mates, and it was like midnight, and I had to work the next day, and I didn't realize. I didn't know that acid lasted 8 to 12 hours. No, I didn't. I called in sick. But what happened for me, right, with acid is that it was fucking amazing until I wanted it to stop. So when I went home, I'm like, rightio, I have to go to bed. I have to work. And I always put on this Tommy Emmanuel CD to go to sleep, just acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I saw that music. It was crazy. And it became fucked. But when I was on it and in the right frame of mind, it was the best night ever.
Yeah.
Do you 100%. Clearly still have that memory right now as you sit here?
What, of the nightmare of Tommy Emmanuel?
No, I mean the seeing the music, that kind of. Was it that? You know, things in your life, like there's some things can just pass by and you can just sort of, they drift on and you can't remember them yesterday, and then other things are so transformational for you.
Oh yeah, no. Like I remember the feeling of just, this isn't what I've ever experienced before. 100%.
Yeah,
I could see, my eyes were closed. I was listening, but I could see things.
Yeah,
and I could almost taste it. It was bizarre.
Yeah,
but
the,
cool.
the mixing up of the mixing up of the senses on hallucinogenics is quite bizarre. Seeing sounds, tasting smells.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everything gets thrown in a blender. And
Can I guess something? I reckon you're a fan of Alice.
Alice.
John Vallis?
Oh, Vallis.
No? You a podcast guy?
No, I don't do much podcasts.
Oh, all right. See you later.
Sorry. Sorry, you missed one.
Okay.
John Vallis
John's
is a great Bitcoin, a great podcaster, and he does go into some depth on, I guess, the power of hallucinogenics and stuff. So I think he might resonate with you.
There was a recent one with a guy from Satsback. That was exactly.
He's Australian, isn't he? No, sorry, that's
no. Anyway, worth. I'll ping you a link, but I can put it below. But yeah, it's well worth listening to. So what was the motivation there for taking hallucinogens in the first place? Like
LSD was my first taste, and that was where I got this from.
Yep.
Up at Earth Freak, and it was just something I knew I wanted to do. And like this is like literally, I mean, I was how long ago?
You yourself want to do it? You hung around with a group of people that did already.
Late 30s first. Okay.
Sorry, sorry, excuse me, I spoke over you, but I was just saying, you yourself decided to do, or your group of friends were people who did?
Yeah, no, I went to Earth Freak as my first music festival in my life in my late 30s.
Right.
And thought when I was there, yep, I'm going to hit some acid and hit that up.
For the first time?
Yeah. On my own, I went to this festival on my own.
Wow.
And that was an experience I'll never forget.
I mean, that's a bold place to try something like that, and not in the safety of your own home or somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that. Is that how you felt, or was it just...
For me now? I feel that festivals are the place to do that.
Yeah,
I always feel that the people at festivals, there's always a crew there that, you know, if they see someone tripping, they'll take him in and look after him. And
yeah, it's all love, isn't it? It's all love.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Have you either of you been to Burning Seed in Australia?
No, is that like Burning Man?
Man in America? Sorry?
No.
Where's Burning? I don't know. I don't even know about Burning.
Look at us.
Where's Burning Way? I look fine. What's wrong with me?
Mate, you see all sorts of people at the burn.
I can't imagine. Where's Burning Man?
Fucking
tripping balls, hats, sucking on a lollipop. I can't imagine it.
Okay, maybe not. Where's I don't even know about Burning Seed.
I'm going to have to be a bad influence on you too. I can see it now.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Damn, he's local.
Yeah.
Tell me about where's Burning Seed. I want to know what Burning Seed is.
They've had it out. It's normally out near Canberra. I've only been to one, and that was one of the earlier ones, quite a few years back now. But you can't buy, like, there's no food for sale. The only thing they were selling there was frozen ice.
What?
Everything else is given away. You take more than you need and you give stuff away.
That's food away, your own food away and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Give away food, give away hugs, give away drugs, give away beer, give away.
Oh wow.
There's like heaps of people take.
I'm not taking my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or my wife.
Well, actually, my mate here in the cooperative where I live, his first touch point with Bitcoin was in Burning Man in America in 2011 or 2012. And he was going to buy like a few grand worth of Bitcoin from this guy and he just never got back there, because that's one of the things Burning Man does to you. You never get back to what you're going to do. You end up somewhere else. Yeah, but Burning Seed's an amazing place, and it's amazing people that are there. Like you get your usual, just party animals that are there, but there's a lot of. It's all about community and helping each other and sharing stuff. And I wouldn't say I'm a socialist as in the socialist idea of governance, but I am, I guess, pro-community, pro-people, pro-society in general. I mean, I think most Bitcoiners are, like, even though there seems to be a big wave against socialism, so to speak, most Bitcoiners still also talk about, well, I'm going to say most, watch on Twitter and YouTube and whatever, talk about, personal rights and personal freedoms and all, but they talk about that in a, like everyone's personal rights, everyone's personal freedoms. So as a whole, that is thinking societally.
It is, yes.
What benefits society?
Well,
it isn't.
Yeah, it's human nature to look after your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone who says they don't want to care for someone they love is I think is a liar or a psychopath in a bad way. Psychopath
For sure.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
It's like, the original word. I mean, I think this is doing something to people in terms of how they think of themselves, but like what they are politically. Because I mean, I've said this before, but like I would have considered myself a not left wing, but left of center guy. You would probably consider yourself the same.
Absolutely.
And
Bitcoin has rattled me in that regard, and we talked about that.
Me too, me too. And it's really had me take a good long look at myself and try and work out what I actually believe and what I'm just virtue signaling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a difficult one, and I've had a lot of people with similar stories to that, but I don't fully understand. I think that's half of the problem, is that we have this idea of left and right, and this, I don't know if you get it so much in Australia. You certainly get it in Scotland, where people are like, I'm a Labour family, my family's Labour, I'll always vote Labour.
Yeah, you do get it. You do get it. Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about? Like, if a man stands up and tells you that I believe in some abhorrent thing, but he happens to be for the Labour Party, you're still going to be a Labour voter. Like, I'm not picking on Labour, pick anyone, I don't care.
Yeah.
But and I think at least the Bitcoiners are seeing and we're not better than MDS, but we've just seen it first, right? So we're just seeing beyond that now. And we're like, but then the problem is you don't want other people to pigeonhole you into sort of what this guy is. But the problem is you sort of need to pigeonhole yourself, so you sort of have a understanding of who you are. Yeah. And I think a lot of us,
you want to know where you sit as well, I think.
Yeah, and I just don't know that we know.
No.
It's changing things, and it's quite confronting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. You putting your hand up? Are you catching a fly? What's that?
Fuck's sake.
Am I preaching? What's this?
I'm trying. Okay, so
I know what's happening. I've worked out what's happening.
Okay, so here, listeners, here's the magic. Here's the magic that fucking Hats fucks up. We have which we've talked about before, we have a free 40-minute fucking Zoom thing. And usually when we're right near the end, I'll put my hand up and say, let's pause there, wait a second so I can stop. And then we re-record. I'm not cutting this. This is all going in. And then we start again, and then we re-record.
64
and try to make it nice and seamless, but fucking Hats can't shut up.
64 episodes. I still have got no fucking clue what's happening in this garage.
All right, HB, can we call you back, buddy?
Yeah, I just in the 2-minute thing myself.
All right, man. And this processes for a while. Oh, the magic is dead.
No worries, man. Take your time.
See ya.
Charlie Lee, we're back. It was Charlie Lee Litecoin.
Yep.
And his brother was the brother was the Bobby. I've looked this up because I couldn't work out. My brain's crap. And his brother was Bobby. Right. Bobby Lee was the BT. What is it? BTC China? What was it called? The exchange in China.
I don't know. But all I know is that's Hats trying to make a seamless transition between first Zoom and second Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
Charlie Lee. So why I've got in my brain that Samson Mao was Charlie Lee.
Well, we were saying maybe you're a bit racist. That could be it.
Oh, maybe. I got a feeling they'll both.
Oh, brilliant!
I got a feeling they'll both on Magic Crypto Friends.
Well, maybe.
So, well, look, tell us about this poster that you've got behind us, because it does got a bit of a fractal encrypt.
Mm-hmm. It looks much better with an RGB light on it, because then it'll change shape and it'll.
Oh, turn it on! Turn it on! Is there like a button or something?
No, it's a matter of finding a 12-volt supply and plugging it in and turn it.
All right. Yeah. Well, speaking of electricity, do you mine, or are you interested in mining?
I blew my power supply up from my S9, so I'm currently not mining, but I was for a little bit. I don't think I've ever mined enough to pay back the miner at the moment. But
yeah. Oh, sats are
Order
sats,
them.
mate. Sats are sats.
Oh yeah. They still got them. So
That's it.
it's-
That kind of goes back to the what are you better off doing? Like, are you better off just buying, stacking, working your job and stacking your sats, or are you better off trying to do, mine, do a Bitcoin job? I don't know, write for a Bitcoin magazine, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, let's say you do give up the business next year or whatever. What is the plan for you after that?
Mm,
Do you want to do Bitcoin related things or just something?
I do, but I don't know what I can do. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to really push. If you want me to do work for you, I want you to pay me in Bitcoin.
Yep.
At the moment, I've had option to pay in Bitcoin on my invoices for the last, 3 years or so. And I've had a few people pay me in Bitcoin, which was cool.
Nice. Locally.
There's actually two people, one person twice. The guy that paid me twice, he was mining Bitcoin in the early days.
Yeah, right.
And blew a lot of it on drugs.
Silk Road.
Online, that's what he was doing with it. He was mining it so he could, but he's self-retired and he's younger than me. So whatever. I guess he doesn't care too much.
That's interesting. When you said you had the stick, the Bitcoin accepted here or whatever, I was just sitting there going, yeah, nobody's taking you up on that. But I'm particularly here, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm actually impressed by 3. That seems quite good. It's were you surprised? Like, how does it was just on your invoices? You weren't pushing it at all, or what?
I know I was pushing it.
You were okay.
I push it to every single person I go to. Like, I don't see a lot of new people every week, but maybe 2 or 3 these days, because most of my work's for one big group, one pub group.
Yep.
But yeah, everyone I see, I talk to about Bitcoin. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
So sometimes I talk into the look in their faces like, "Will you shut up and piss off?" But
we all know that.
It's right? The mission, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. And especially here where our money works, people are like, they don't get it. It's like, why do I want to invest in this thing? It's like, you're not investing it. You're taking part in a new system to help the world,
Mm.
And I used to say that a few years ago, but I don't know if I meant it as much as I do now. Now I'm like, no, I'm not selling my. I mean, how much are we down in the last 12 months? It's pretty brutal.
80%.
But
70-80%.
But I want to see Bitcoin change the world. I want to see all these things we know it can do. And I really believe it can.
Here's a question. So, do you think that you're sort of dabbling in recreational drugs or hallucinogenics was somewhat of a vehicle or helped you, I guess, see Bitcoin for what it could be? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're 2 different parts of my life.
Yep.
It's mainly, every day I spend at least an hour a day watching Bitcoin videos, just consuming as much as I can. And there's so much now. It's
So can I ask, what are you looking for? Because I'm doing exactly the same thing. Are you looking for more knowledge, or are you looking to just, verify what you already think is true, or you're looking to find a hole in the argument, or what? Why are you consuming that much?
It's probably validation. Yeah, making just seeing, especially when I see videos from the poorer nations and hear how it's helping them so much and how they're adopting it, and it's just like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. Even if we drop more in value, and even if it's a hard fight for a few years more, maybe 10 years more. I mean, I'm going to be getting old then, but I think it's worthwhile. Sorry, I'm over. Like, how old am I now? Yep, just over mid-40s. So you guys are what, early 30s
Oh, take it.
without
I'll
doxing?
take
We're
that.
both in our 40s.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that okay?
Yeah, early 40s for me.
Yeah.
Late
Okay,
late
cool.
40s
Right,
perhaps.
you just haven't got as much grey as I've got, man. I'm grey as.
Oh mate, the beard's getting grey. The
Oh, you know what? At Bush Bash, I told Catan how old I was, and he thought I would have been mid-30s.
yeah, but
I'll take
he's
that.
just trying to sell you something.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, have you been to any Bitcoin meetups?
I haven't. That's one of the other big reasons I was kind of like, I reached out to the other guy. I was like, well, you know, I heard about that Bush Bash thing, and it was
Yeah.
like, where was that? Near Tamworth or something?
Yeah, Murrundi. You got to do it, man. They're so good.
Yeah.
So there's now four. There's four. There's one in New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, and now WA.
Yeah, well, that's not affiliated with.
And like who's giving out the certificates? Like, it doesn't matter. They've taken the name. They're using it. Good luck to them.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. It sounds like you're involved.
yeah. I'm selling tickets at the end of the door. No, but so I would highly recommend it. And just because, and do you know what? And I don't mean to piss anybody off, but I always do. So like, the presentations are great, but just sitting in a room with people who you can feel like you can have an honest conversation with, no judge. Oh, a lot. No, actually, not no judgment. Probably plenty of judgment, but in a nice way, like in a like, oh, I've never thought of it that way before, or never thought that. And then you can go away with your own idea. They go away with their own idea, and you've just had a good day.
Well, I think as Wiz said on the weekend, it's like 80% entirely shared beliefs and values, and the 20% that you may disagree on, but that's where the fun is, and that's where the discussion and the arguments and the debates are really good. And honest to God, like it really feels like you're just meeting with friends, and you're meeting people for the first time. And everyone I've spoken to that goes to these things will attest to this. It's something really, really special.
It really is. I mean, I sat down with I don't want to dox some lady and her husband and daughter, and like, just sitting at a table and like sat down, started talking, sitting there. We're probably still there 45 minutes later. Still, like, how many people could you go up to in a coffee shop, sit down beside them, a complete stranger, and have a conversation for 45 minutes and not feel uncomfortable for a single minute? I mean, they probably felt super uncomfortable, but like, but no,
Depends
it's just
what she looked like, you know.
say again.
Depends what she looked like.
Okay.
Yeah, uncomfortable for her, not for you. Is that what you're saying?
100%. 100%.
100%. He's a podcaster.
Oh, he is. You should definitely go. I'd recommend it to any, or start up your own thing, or just find a Bitcoin, have a coffee. I'll have a coffee with me. I'll chat Bitcoin all day to anybody will listen.
Yeah. He fucking will.
So where do you think we're going in the next 12 months? Do you have any sort of insight, or I don't mean like special insight. I just mean, what do you think is coming? Because we seem to be hitting some kind of fight now. Then they fight you stage, right?
Are you talking price, or what are you?
No, well, if you want to go price, we can go there, but more to do with like it feels to me like Bitcoin was kind of ignored for a long time. They'd ignore you, they laugh at you stuff. That seems that we seem to be through that now, right? Because you can see just in the posts that come out from central bankers, from governments, from as you say, just recently the ECB thing that came out. I mean, you can see the concern from their side. So what is, if that's true, and if we're at the fight you stage, what does that look like? And what do you think that means for individuals that are in Bitcoin? What does that mean?
It's a good question. I guess it depends how long are they going to keep the interest rates up, because that's strengthening dollars, US dollars more than any other dollars, of course. I mean, I was talking to a couple of real estate agents last week, and they're like, properties are still selling. Like, get them listed today, they're sold tomorrow. There's still heaps of demand for real estate, even though interest rates are up. I think that it's the interest rate up thing. We haven't been in that sort of predicament. I mean, Bitcoin's always been this, interest rates are going down, 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 down. X is getting richer and richer and richer. That won't go down there. Yes, so like interest rates been going down. Bitcoin's sort of like rode that cheap money for so long, and now money's getting dearer again. How long is that gonna? Well, will Bitcoin hold its price now? And I think it's going to make a big. I mean, if we drop another 50% from here, it's going to drag out that adoption. Like more people are going to be like, well, fucking Bitcoin's risky. Look, it's gone down again.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if we start to even hold and just creep up a little bit, and real estate does finally start to get hit by interest rate hikes and starts to, back off, prices drop, house values are dropping, but Bitcoin's rising and holding. What happens when investors, like people that have got 20 houses, are like, well, fucking houses are going down in value and Bitcoin's still going up. Maybe I should drop a house and throw it in Bitcoin. And I don't know. It's
particularly with the Australian lens on that. Like this whole place is built on people. I love that meme. Have you seen the meme recently with the guy looking in the mirror? It's what is it? It's like you're just that good at picking houses, or whatever it's kind of. It's brilliant, right? And I know lots of people like that. They're like, oh man, must be some form of genius, and they'll talk to you about it all night, And but I think where we are, not to be too doxy, is we've experienced.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we've experienced quite we call it a boost. I don't know if we call it a boost, but like there's been an outflow of people from the cities in Australia generally because of COVID, right? A lot of them go up and down the coast and look for a nice little town because they can now work from home. And we've had a lot of that, right? And the building is still going ahead at a pace. You're absolutely right. And I didn't know. I've not got that data point of the real estate agents, but I don't disbelieve you. I'm sure that's true. I just think that people will do like anything before they lose their house. They'll run up credit card bills. They'll lose a car. They'll stick their head in the sand. They'll cut back on whatever it is before they lose the house. And I think we're still in
the house they live in. You mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not talking about investments. Yeah, absolutely. It's a different thing. But it's certainly the house people live in. So I think we are yet to see the capitulation of those people, and I'm not hoping for it, but it is coming, in my opinion. I
hope so.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
It's to and fro. I mean, I just hate the fact that real estate's become this investment, this savings vehicle that everyone has, because it just means it's hard for people to own and live in a home. And how the place where we live shouldn't be an investment vehicle. Like it should be just somewhere to live. And if it wasn't an investment vehicle, more people could own their home.
Yeah.
Like I've got family that have recently got into the market, and if things go bad, they're going to hurt. Hopefully they don't have to sell. But I've got other family that can't get into the market because it's just too high. So it's like,
have you got a lot of family up this way?
A few, yeah. I'm one of like six kids. So.
Oh wow,
there's a few of us.
So you don't wish bad on people, but they're whether they knew it or not, they've made a financial decision, and that financial decision is going to come back and bite them in the arse, I think. But what that then does is it brings back a house to the value of its utility, right? And I don't know what that number is, but it's certainly not the number that it is today. It's way lower. And people who rent, and it's not a disparaging comment on people that rent, but the people who rent a house, they by absolute just the nature of the relationship, you're not going to look after that house as well as you would look after the house if it was your own. You wouldn't be spending as much time on, for example, your garden or your fence or your roof or all these things. You're looking after your house. And then what does that mean for your neighbors, your community? Just everything just gets wider and wider and wider, right? So I mean, the more we can get people into their own homes, that's got to be a good thing. But at these values, you just can't. You couldn't justify it for anybody. Certainly not a young person coming out for the first time.
Yeah.
Just saddle themselves with debt for the rest of their life.
I hate
lose the house.
The whole thing, like Joe Hockey and how whatever politicians talking about the age of entitlement and no more avocados on toast for these Gen Zers or whatever it is now. Like
how many avocados and toast do you have to eat before you buy a house?
Yeah, fucking disgusting.
I know. It's just gaslighting on another level, right?
Big time. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Cool. What else we got? Anything you want to add, mate? Any thoughts?
I had heaps of ideas during the week. I'm like, I've got to talk about that when we get on. And 3 wines later, they're floating away a bit.
Yeah, that's compulsory. The wine drinking is compulsory. I mean, we do that a bit ourselves. That is our shitcoin of choice.
Yes.
Yeah, ditto. How's the SBF thing? Like, did you watch the interview?
No, I didn't.
I've not seen it yet. I saw a clip. But...
Did you watch it?
Just this afternoon, I watched a bit of it. Yeah, it's just like treating him like he's this, this philanthropy kid, and now he can't do what he wanted to do. And it's like, hold on, this fucking prick just ripped off fucking millions of people, like screwed over. Like, ridiculous.
But he's sorry. But he did say sorry. So, I mean, that's good enough for me.
He said sorry. He said sorry. So,
what if he'd have stabbed somebody in the head? If he'd have said sorry then, would that also have been okay?
I retweeted a thing today, Miles Suter. And it's got 4 pictures, right? It's got SBF, it's got Snowden, Assange, and I don't know that guy's name, but he killed him.
The internet's own kid. His name
is, he killed himself.
Name will come back.
Anyway, so it says
Aaron.
Aaron Swartz.
That's it. You. Yeah, 3 of these people had their lives ruined by the security state for stealing, in inverted commas, information they believed belonged to the people. One was pushed to suicide. The other, SBF, goes on GMA tomorrow after stealing hundreds of millions of customer funds, remains free with no charges filed. That says everything.
It's
abhorrent.
It's egregious. Yeah.
I heard he got an applause at the end of it as well.
I didn't watch the last bit. Like, I watched enough, and it's just like, oh my god, this is just.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why I'm quitting what I do. Like some of the people I work for are, well and truly millionaires, if not more. And I don't know, they're just, most of the money they make comes from people that be lucky to make 3 figures. Well, don't make 3 figures. And they do everything to maximize how much money they pull out of those people.
Yeah.
And like, and the system around them supports them. Like,
I think that's the bigger problem.
That is, yeah.
Like, ultimately I'm a capitalist, but I believe it's people who work hard and should do well. I mean, I do, but it's when the odds are just stacked.
Yeah.
In your
favor, when I said
right?
The system, I was talking about like the government system.
Yes.
And,
you're totally right.
Gambling in industry and laws and just, their lack of compassion to the normal people is just, and I'm to a point, I guess I'm milking that cow a bit myself, even though, what I do directly isn't. I'm helping support their businesses. So, and as to what I'm going to do instead is probably going to be jump in my ute, drive, and work it out on the way.
Nice.
Where I live, it won't cost me much more than $2,000 a year to keep this place. And I was just doing back what do they call it? Back of the notepad, back of the coaster calculations or whatever. Probably cost me, as long as I can make $250 a week, I can survive and keep this place. And then just workout really matters to me. I think that's the biggest thing that time, age, and Bitcoin are like pushing me towards. It's like find out what really means, what really matters, what are the things that are really important to me, and go follow those things. Stop wasting my time doing what society says I should do. Do you guys both have children, kids, family?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so I'm in a different boat.
Together. We're two gay dads.
No,
you're the mum.
Not how I'm in it, but whatever.
No, it's true. It's true. We're two gay dads.
Yeah. So, like, I've got heaps of nieces. I think I've got like 16 nieces and nephews. It's quite ridiculous, but I have no kids of my own and no intention to go there.
Yep.
But it does create a different mindset of, I think.
What, being a parent, you're saying, or not being a parent?
Yeah. I mean, and it's something I both lack but don't want. Like,
yeah,
you must feel that it gives you a purpose in life. Yeah,
absolutely does, and I wouldn't change it at all. But I certainly wouldn't force it on anybody else either.
I don't feel a purpose for it. I love my kids, and I wouldn't change a thing. But I don't feel like some overwhelming purpose to pass on my genome or anything like that. I just love my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can any parent that tells you that they can't imagine their life without kids is a fucking liar, I reckon. I remember my days without kids. A fucking carefree, time up the wazoo.
Yeah. But as a guy without kids, the opportunity that you're just able to do what you choose to do, what you think is for the best for yourself, and that's like, I mean, there's Owen, for example, who's just gone, nah, I'm not happy with what's happening in Australia. I'm just taking myself and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to buy myself a farm. He bought himself a farm. He raised some cows for a couple of years. And then he thought, no, I'm not happy with what's happening in Australia. I'm going to El Salvador. I like what's happening there. I want to experience it for myself.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We couldn't do that. I mean, we could do that, but it would be harder to convence everybody that was a good idea. Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you want to just go now? Like, leave our wives?
What happened to the two gay dads? You just doxed it.
I mean, oh shit.
But I love. I mean, I can't and don't want to do that, but I do love hearing the stories of the guys that are doing it.
Yes,
and girls, whoever it is, like, it's really interesting, and like, good luck to them. I think they're doing the right. I think they are doing the right thing.
Yep.
But worst case scenario
is tempting.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario,
it's like $3 to $4 grand to get there though from here. It's like $3 or $4 grand to get to El Salvador from here.
Well, one way though, mate.
Or don't
need a return ticket.
Just do a few laps at the pool, you'll get there.
Well, we'll hook you up with Owen, mate. He'll show you around.
Exactly.
If you can.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Do you know what? I'll give you another suggestion. If you're going to get in a truck and just drive around, there's many meetups that you can kind of book yourself in for. That's your start.
There's a good thing. Yeah. You could just organize a tour around Australia based on bush bashes.
Heck yeah.
That's a good idea. We should do that.
One thing I am worried about the bush bashes and I guess the vegan community, that docks it. The Bitcoin community in general is, I don't eat meat. I am vegan. Yeah. I don't push it on other people, but I know that.
Dude,
that's the 20% Brendo was talking about before. So so sorry, man, I've kind of cut you off a little bit, I think. But so when we first went along, it was a little bit like, and I've heard other guys say this too. I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm not quite of the same as these guys, and am I going to feel uncomfortable, or should I look after my security or something? It's not. It really isn't at all. It's all the only connection point is open-minded, critical thinker, believer in personal freedoms. You do you, I'll do me. All of those things are that they are the beliefs, right? Everything else is there's state guys and there's
but like at Murrah, there were vegans and vegetarians this time around. So
families,
cool.
Older people, younger people, kids. I mean, I love the fact that, in fact, this one felt way more that way. Like, it was a bit of a sausage fest, but because that's ultimately that's who's got in first. But
To get ads.
Yeah.
TwoGayDads.com. That's probably
That's probably a good domain.
Yeah, take it.
TwoGayDads.com.
But yeah, don't please, if either yourself or anyone else is thinking that you're being made to feel, a little bit out of an outsider because of you've got a slightly different opinion. No, definitely not. You'll be more than welcome, and people, but be prepared to debate it, right? Be prepared to give your angle, because I think that's,
No, but don't say,
people be keen for it.
But don't say that because people are going to challenge you on it, because they won't.
No, they'll just be genuinely interested in why.
Totally.
And they might come at you from how do you find that affects you, from a health perspective, or and then you'll be like, oh well, I can tell you, that's
that's all good. That's all good.
It's
it's like people telling me cigarettes are a shitcoin,
They are, but
I know. I'm just.
But you do you.
Me do me. Yes.
You want to fuck up your
how do you go to vape?
Me do me.
I lost my vape at the last festival I went to, so I've stopped vaping again now.
Because you lost
it. It's funny because, I was seeing a girl there a few months ago. About 4 or 5
where'd you lose
it? And she
one time at band camp.
She, I wasn't smoking. I used to smoke in the early days. She was smoking rollies, so I started seeing her a lot and smoking a lot of rollies with her. And I thought, fuck this, I got to get a vape, so at least I'm not taking all her tobacco. Finally got that, started using that. Then things didn't work out with us. So then I'm on the vape all day, every day. I'm like, fuck. But then went to a festival, and 2 days, when I go to festivals now, I normally go and join one of the building crews. So we build stages and shit out of bamboo, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
And so I was vaping with it, went instead of bludge and smokes with them. But I think it was the second last day during one of the nights between dance floors. The vape disappeared. And I got back and I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy another one of those. They're like 80 odd bucks for just a reusable vape. So I got the fluid, but I'm off the cigarettes for now again, which is good.
Good. Stay off them.
All this, just work out exactly what that cost you in sats and stack it and feel like a legend.
8,000 sats a cigarette is what Hat's worked out. 8,000 sats per cigarette.
When did you work that out, Hats? Because that's
sats.
Yeah, take it. That's happy. That's all good. So we're driving down it. So when we drive down the car, he brings this little dictaphone thing. So if we have any thoughts, because we just random, and it's like, okay, we'll turn it on.
He hasn't heard us, obviously.
Yeah, no, clearly not. It's all good. But he was going, I need to stop for a smoke or something. And I was like, you need to stop this smoking shit. And then I was like, how much does a deck of smokes cost? And he's like, what did you say? 33?
32, 33. It depends on the packet.
Okay.
For a pack of 20,
33 So anyway, roughly worked out that it's kind of circa 8,000 sats. What do you call them? A dari.
A dari, a dart.
Am I saying that right?
My brother in Toowoomba calls them pegs. A peg. I like pegs.
Peg.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Up a peg. I'm going to go for a peg. I like that.
Pegs is something else. Are you sure that's your brother?
Yeah. That's right. Bend over.
Yeah.
Come in. All right. Do you want to shout out your handle for people? Anyone who's listening that wants to check you out?
Or any customers that want to pay in Bitcoin for anything, if you want to share.
Yeah, for whatever it is you do.
Chill away.
Well, so plebHODLBadger on Twitter. That's the only really social media I do. I still have Facebook, but barely use it.
Don't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
Or what your username is. Yeah.
Yeah, but plebHODLBadger on Twitter is me.
Yeah.
And what I do at the moment doesn't matter because I'm probably going to stop doing it anyway soon. Just go travel and cruise around. Unfortunately, I don't have enough Bitcoin to live off Bitcoin and do that. But maybe in another 10 years.
Yeah.
I think it's coming sooner than you think, mate. I think it's coming sooner than you think. I don't think it's coming tomorrow.
I hope so.
Say again. Well, who knows? Just an opinion, and we've all got one. It's just like an arsehole, right?
All right, HB.
You get that right? No,
I don't know.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Guys. Good to chat, guys.
Legend. Thanks, mate.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.